Well, here we go again. Another episode in the books. We are 11 episodes through Survivor Season 49. It's the man-child Jim Lurch along with Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. all buffed up tonight. And we are talking Survivor post-game coming right out of it. Oh, man. Sophie with an IE eliminated tonight. We'll get into why. She was blindsided. Talk about being blindsided. She was just blind to everything that was going on. Somebody that was so in the middle and looking so good a week ago. Ugh. It was really, actually, the grand scheme of things, an uneventful night in Survivor in terms of who got eliminated. But we can talk about that, see if everybody feels the same as me. But let's get right to it. Let's bring in our guy. He comes on with us every single episode and talks all things Survivor. He spent a little time on the island himself. It's our good pal, Bret LaBelle. What's up, Bret? On location in Baltimore, apparently. I don't know if you want to divulge what you're up to down there.
Yeah, I'm at the Bryce and Wendell event. Bryce and Wendell present Survivor Live show, which I'll tell you, we had a little scare. All the power went out, so I was like, uh-oh. I'm going to be having... you guys fill me in on what happened. But no, we get the power up. Everything's good. I watched the episode, so I'm ready to rock.
Ready to rock. All right, boy.
Well, I would
fire
push
up
back.
the first shot.
I'd push back immediately on what you said, Lurch. You're like, sort of past the biscuits. Sophie goes home. I thought Sophie has been under-edited the entire season. Okay. She's been a challenge beast. Now, her awareness skills, we can throw a challenge flag on that of not, being aware of what was going on and not having any sense of that. But I thought, to be honest, she was a pretty compelling character throughout. What do you think, Bret?
Yeah, no, I like. I mean, she was kind of got a ghost at it for a while. Then she came out of nowhere. She played very hard. It was actually kind of fun to watch her. But I'm not shocked. I think I'd be shocked if she actually won the season after not getting that much time on the air.
Did you catch it, by the way, at the end? Her calling herself hot along with Savannah?
That was part of the... Yeah, there you go.
Was that what? I'm sorry. I was in a room full of people. What did she do?
Yeah, so when she voted, when she went up to the voting, council and put it in, she voted for Savannah and says, "Hey, there can't be two hot 31-year-olds,
blonde,
super competitors on the island." Yeah,
never call yourself hot. That's never a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty arrogant to say something like that, but I'm sure she was just having fun,
Yeah, which is all good for that. I'm curious. We finally got some more juice. I've been telling you this forever, Brett. I want some action, at these tribal councils. I don't want it all hunky dory. And while we only got little flavors of it, but Christina's saying, it's pretty obvious. Basically, I hate Savannah. And Savannah's like, hate, and she's like, strong dislike. So, so there's some good back and forth there. That's what I'm talking about. I want some of this juice. I don't want everyone just playing patty cake out there, Brett. That was refreshing.
Yeah, no, it's always good to see that kind of banter back and forth. And it's enjoyable. I liked this episode. I thought it was really good,
Yeah. I'll tell you what wasn't so palatable to me, and I wonder how you feel about it because you actually did this, Brett. How about everybody saying, nah, I'm too tired to go on an adventure, and they leave it to Steven, the one guy who needed it more than anything, and of course he goes and he wins the block of vote advantage. I mean, come on, someone step up. I mean, everyone, frankly, should have stepped up, other than maybe Christina, who is in his corner. Come on, and they just let him waltz off on the challenge. I mean, that was pretty lame. Did you find that lame? That could come back to hurt them in the end?
Yeah, and I guarantee Survivor didn't love that. They want people to be motivated and be out there, so.
Yeah, and also, like normally...
what am I going to do? It's endurance. I'm so tired and hungry.
Well,
day
I'm
20,
sure...
Day 20, Brett. Day 20.
No. I know. It's not that. You're just getting started day 20,
Good
Come on,
grief.
stop it. So, it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the thing they like is that Steven got it, and that's dramatic because he was on the bottom, so to have this advantage that no one knows about, like, you're not sure, so I'm sure they are happy he got it. But again, when everyone said, "Oh, we definitely can't let him get it," well, all right, he could go out on this journey and get it himself. That just seemed weird. Normally, it seems like everyone just goes, "Yeah, I want to go, and then you draw sticks, and then sometimes you can cheat the system and get the right stick, so you sort of cheat on who's going to end up winning. So yeah, that was incredibly surprising there, Lurch.
Definitely surprising, no question about it. Brett, what'd you think on that?
I mean, yeah, I was just as surprised as Lurch, to be honest with you.
Does
Okay.
Sophie get her name back, Brett? So
Yeah.
we had that
She
whole
now
battle.
Sophie again? Can we get on
Yes.
Sophie?
Oh, no,
Get on
I think
Sophie.
she's excited now. She's the only Sophie out there. I'm excited because it was getting confusing for me. How many times am I going to say I call her Sophie B?
Yeah. Now
Right.
it's all straight.
Crazy.
One Sophie
Ridiculous.
left.
Listen, this was a unanimous vote tonight, okay? So it was a total blindside, and somehow this group of 6 was all able to get on the same page to vote Sophie out. But there was some interesting rumblings in this episode, one of them being a potential Sage alliance. Do you think that could actually come together? Could that be something that sticks and
Hold on,
something
I got one
that
guy
changes the game? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
How are we?
What's
what's
up?
You know, I'm just chilling out here with a big old box and my man Bret.
All right, we got to let him go. I just wanted to say hi.
It's good to see you guys. Thank
What's
you
up,
so much.
Wendell? Good to see you, brother.
Hard over here. He's working very hard.
He's carrying boxes, working hard.
Wendell's going to have to see this later.
The best.
But yes, a couple years ago, Wendell signed the Ghost Island hat that I still have over there, and that was before we knew, or even he knew, that he was going to end up winning it. So, yeah, big salute to Wendell.
Yeah, on your way out, Brett, see if Wendell remembers signing a hat for
that guy's beard. He had that big beard. It's gone. I don't know what happened.
That's a good point. Yeah. Now it's all gone. But there you go. Celebrities, Brett. You're rubbing elbows out there.
Well, yes. I'm in the club. You know what I'm saying?
He's in the club. He's in the club, Tommy.
If I get somebody else, I'll grab him too. If I get somebody else.
Sure. Yeah, please. Yeah, please do. This is
head on the swivel here. Head on the swivel.
At me there, Boy Green.
What's that?
What was the question we were on? I'm sorry to interrupt that.
No,
I don't even remember what it was, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure.
I was asking about the Sage potential.
Oh, yes. Alliance. Yes.
Could they come together as an alliance and maybe
some
change
seeds
this game in the later?
That was interesting. I like that. But see, that's why I think Sophie's playing a really good low-key game, because she will work with anybody and she will talk to everybody and everyone likes her. And that's the person you're going to watch out for as we get to the end, because the jury really doesn't hate her. You know, they don't hate her. Everyone has a relationship with her. I'll tell you, I'm so glad I grabbed her. I'm feeling really good about this.
I'm just glad that, hey, we can bring up the fantasy draft board here. We're all still alive. There's 6 people left, and we have 50% of the field, and I'm feeling pretty good about the 50%. Again, there's there's still some game players out there like Savannah, who's undrafted by us, who is looking really good because she has a sterling resume. But for the most part, I like our 50% of the field we have here. Very nice.
Me too. I'm happy with it.
So, and it's ultimately good to know that really 2 out of the 3 are mine, which is even better. But we won't get into that again tonight. All right. People don't need for me to go back down that deep, dark road. Okay. So let's talk about the challenges tonight. Always love to talk about the challenges with you, Brett. Interesting one with the spinning letters. I don't think we've ever seen that one
before. That's a new twist.
Yeah. With the rope tied to you. As it turned out, Stephen did not knock the pile over. It looked like it was possibly going to fall over.
Don't forget spinning letters. Really somebody wants to say hi.
Hey,
how are you? Oh my God, we discussing the episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I got a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, give them. Let's hear it. Give.
Please. Yeah.
But I just seeing Steven run around getting that immunity or getting that was just like so much fun to see. But love y'all. Thank you for having me. I'm with the best person ever, Brett.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell people who that was, Brett. Make sure you're introducing people.
If I see any more, I'll grab them.
Yeah, that's the other co-host of the party. We have Wendell and Bryce. So there you go.
I'm just jumping down a little bit because it's getting loud over there.
That's all right.
Getting to a quieter spot here.
But I appreciate you adapting, Brett, no matter when people are coming or not. So great.
Yeah. So just to get back to, I like that Sophie's working with other people. I think it's great. I think it's going to really bode well for her.
Again, planting seeds I don't think hurts, and then that sets up for what Lurch said. Even though it didn't happen in this one of switching it on somebody, it could plant seeds, potential for the future. Here's the only hole I see. So Steven gets the advantage. That's cool. And in the advantage that he ends up winning, it says, hey, you could block a vote, and no one's going to know it's you. Shh. No one's going to know that you were the one who blocked him. But with how many people are left, and they know that Steven went on this journey, and then he admits that he has an advantage, isn't everyone going to know that it was Steven?
Yeah. I don't know if everyone. So it was tough for me to, when I was watching it, to hear what was going on. Okay. Did everyone know he had it? I thought he kept it quiet.
Yeah. So let's just.
They don't know what he had, Brett. They don't know what he had, but
he admitted to having something.
Right, but the advantage said they won't know who it was that blocked their vote, but the problem is it's going to be obvious who blocked their vote.
That it was him is what,
It's the only advantage.
It's going to be obvious now. Yeah, I mean, like they're going to figure it out. I think we have. I think I kind of have a feeling that Sophie and Steven are going to team up and they're going to use both of their powers together. I feel like that's what's coming. We only have 2 episodes left. There's got to be a big move coming with all this stuff out there. And I'm telling you right now, that would be really cool to see those 2 team up and then get to the final 3 together, so.
Brett, was the juice worth the squeeze here? So Steven, his strenuous challenge, he has to run around this private island, basically, and collect all these numbers, remember the numbers, put them in, and go all the way through. And at the end, he gets a block of vote. Was the juice worth the squeeze? Was that a proper reward for all the running around he had to do?
Oh, absolutely. Anything at this part of the game that can help you get further in the game is huge. And Steven needs it. Like Steven's, he hasn't been on the top of anything. This is huge for him, and he knows it. And if he plays it correctly, it's a game changer for him.
We did see a little bit in this episode, Brett, Rizzo kind of in panic mode. I mean, after Steven came back and he realized he had the advantage, now he thinks Steven has to steal a vote, which is even better, but he doesn't. He has that block a vote. Riz was really scrambling. He was invited to that reward challenge, interestingly enough, because I guess he's been pretty darn hungry. And there was some discussions there, and he was really talking about, trying to play with those other 2, which we know ultimately he's not really going to go. Did we see a side of Rizzo here that we didn't know? It felt like a little panic in his game tonight.
How panicked is he? Is that what you said?
Yeah, is there panic in his game at this point because he's paranoid about Steven's advantage?
No, it doesn't seem it. He seems extremely cocky, but he needs to be panicked. He needs to be thinking about. He's getting very comfortable, from what I could tell. He looked very comfortable at Tribal. Shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. He should be watching his back right now.
And why are they not trying to flush out his idol? I just can't.
Yeah, I know. It's shocking to me. I think because Sophie's going to steal it. That's what I think is coming. So.
Probably.
And speaking of Rizzo, right, we go back to the beginning of the episode, right? Rizzo last time had this whole showmanship at the previous tribal council and then played a fake idol. And I gave him a lot of credit. Ooh, what great forethought. He was trying to figure out this or figure out this. And then at the beginning of the episode, Brett, we found out it was apparently just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I don't think Rizzo's long for the game. I got to be honest. I don't. I think he's. I think we'll be lucky if he gets one more week. I don't think he's going to get. I think he's gone next week.
What? That's terrible.
Yeah, no, I really do. He's too
comfy.
He's too high profile and he's too relaxed. Yeah, I really think he's in trouble. And I like he seemed like even the stuff he was saying tonight. I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if he went home tonight, but he didn't. So.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting tonight how they played up that Soph could have been the pivotal vote here, and then she would have voted for Savannah, and then they would have had 3 on that side. I looked at that in the moment. I wrote down, no way Soph votes for Savannah at this point, and obviously it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, I would have said the only possibility, you would have had to do a full turn, because if she would have turned on Savannah, she would have then had to use the knowledge's power, steal the idol from Rizzo, and completely go to town, because that could have spooked Rizzo. He uses the idol, and then she loses that ability to get that later. So I think that would have had to happen there.
Yeah.
Right, how about
we're coming to this is going to be, it's getting good. It's been good the last few episodes. I think the next 2 are going to be fantastic. So.
All right, it's time to rate the reward. Brett, we do this every week with you. It's become kind of a tradition. So this week's reward, spaghetti with various sauces,
meat
a little
sauces.
marinara, a little pesto, whatever the heck else is being rolled out, juice, iced tea, and tiramisu for dessert. One of my faves. Brett, you still not happy about these rewards? What's going down in your mind on this? This is a little
better. I like the pasta. That's good for you while you're out there. It's protein and stuff like that. But where was the booze? I want the booze, So.
Where's the beer? Where's the wine?
Where's the wine? Where's the wine? You have pasta. I want wine. I want vino. What's going on here with these? I am so sick of this. The sanctuary. Like, I'm done with it. Let's move on. We need to go to a resort or something fun. Like, the sanctuary sucks.
Is there? Can we have this in the future? Jeff always says, right? We had to get a Jeff impression, which we could get into in a second. From yourself said, yeah, no thanks, Jeff. I'm not doing an impression of you. But Steven had no problem attempting to try to do it. But what I was going to bring up here is that Jeff always asks, "Are you guys ready to see the reward?" And normally everyone goes, "Woo, yay! Let's see whatever the reward is." What if they say no? Like, he tells them it's spaghetti and all this other crap. They're like, you know what? You could do better, buddy. Is there some negotiation with the reward and you could get it changed?
Well, I love that Sage was complaining about the fruit. Like that kind of stuff's going to be, that it's going to be more and more people going, okay, is this even worth me working hard for this? Like, they need to switch it up. Enough's enough. It doesn't cost them that much money to go to a resort and, get people mani-pedis. Like, come on, they're being cheap.
Now, we got to go back all the way to the original Rocky movie, Bret, to see Rocky Balboa, a.k.a. Sylvester Stallone, chasing a chicken in order to get speed. They were chasing around chickens in this episode, didn't catch any chickens. How hard is it to catch the chickens out there? I can't remember in your season. Did you guys have chickens? And were you chasing them?
That was season 15. That was Fiji also, believe it or not. That was the first time they ever went to Fiji. That was a great season. But, yeah, we had chickens on the loose. We did.
Okay. Is it hard to catch them or not? Did you get in it?
It was the millennials that let the chickens go, if I remember. And
that sounds right.
When we merged, these chickens would come and taunt us. Nobody could ever catch them. So,
Bret, give us the atmosphere there. Again, you talked about it. You're at a Survivor party with a bunch of Survivor legends and super fans and everything else that's out there. What's the atmosphere like?
Oh, it's been fun. It's been, Bryce and Wendell throw a hell of a party,
All right, give us a look. I'm going to make you full screen here. Show us what's going on.
They had the music going. They got a DJ that goes everywhere with them. And the place was packed. There's 2 floors. All the TVs and the sound system had the Survivor show going. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll have to come up there to Syracuse and do one up there. And then
sign me up. That'd
some
be great.
open bar? Did you have some open bar down there?
Well, yeah. No, but I'll talk to them about that. They need to open the bar up for Bret LaBelle a little more than they did tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in New York we say an open bar.
Yeah, They walk the dog.
Speak
with
your
the
language
open
there.
bar.
That's all.
Yeah, that's right. That's
You walk the dog too, don't you?
Yeah.
My grandmother was from Brooklyn. I listened to that accent my whole life.
So, which do you prefer, Bret? New York or Boston?
Not Boston. I mean, I grew up in Boston, but I think my grandmother and my cousin sounded weird,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Bret, we're again getting closer and closer to Survivor 50. Again, what's sort of the anticipation? This is unique. Survivor normally in the middle of a season like this, so we're in 49, and they're openly having all these commercials about 50. Jeff's promoting the big Survivor 25-year book. Like, there's a lot of extra hoopla going on. This is different than normal. They're really building up season 50. Do you think it's going to live up to the hype?
No, I think a lot of people here, from what I hear, I'm not going to say names because it's not. Sure. But not everyone's loving everyone has a little problem with the cast. Now, I'm hoping they prove us wrong and they knew what they were doing at casting, and maybe they did, and sometimes they do. So we'll see. But I want to see more old school people, even older than my season. Like, I want to see the greats, But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's 50. It's a huge milestone. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone's going to have a good time. But, again, I think it could have been better.
I was doing a little gandering this week, gentlemen, watching some old Survivor episodes, and I got myself into Survivor, the original All-Stars, with Amber and Boston Rob and that whole crew. Yeah. A lot of good characters on that season. And it was in Panama. And man, were they getting bitten alive. Holy crow, their legs, their arms, their necks. Is it better that it's now in Fiji? I know we've had this debate a little bit, Bret, about the Fiji location and it being the permanent location. Is it a little too cushy? Is it not? Give me your thoughts about how Survivor has evolved. I understand part of this is cost, and it's more efficient to do it in one place for sure. But we are not seeing some of the very, very difficult conditions like we saw in Australian Outback, and certainly that I saw in that series in Panama, the All-Stars.
Yeah, I mean, Fiji has less bugs in Ikabula. We had a lot of bugs. I was a week there, eight days there, I think, and that was the worst bugs I saw when I was out there. If you're on the ocean with the breeze, which we were on Gen X Beach and also with Millennials Beach, there's no the bugs. You didn't even notice them. So I think it's a lot. You see a lot of these other seasons where people are just covered in bug bite. So I think it's a lot better in Fiji. Excuse me.
So
Bret,
you're a big fan of keeping it there?
Yeah.
What's that?
You a big fan of keeping it in Fiji? You think that's the right thing to do?
I think they need to stop moving around.
You do? Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, BJ.
Bret, some people say that sometimes, before the show, they lived a normal life. They do Survivor, and then it changes them. Like, you were sleeping in sand, you were sleeping on bamboo, you were worried about who you could trust, and you have that up against. Is that hard to go from normal life, Survivor, national television, and then you go back to your normal life, and then you're at work, you're like, hey, is Jeff trying to work against me? Is Bobby out there trying to work against me? Like, you can't quite just turn off the game once you leave?
No, but I will say I definitely took about 3 days to myself. I'm an extrovert, but when you're out there with all those people for so long, I needed about 3 days to myself, just myself. I didn't answer the phone. Everyone heard I was home. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't talk to a soul because it takes a lot out of you.
It sounds like that bike trip I made all those years ago, Boy Green.
Yeah,
I've told that story a million times on the radio. I did a 350-mile, 27 hours straight on a bike. We went from Long Island, New York, all the way up to kind of your neck of the woods, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, was our destination. It was just me and one buddy. It was supposed to be two buddies. As a matter of fact, I just saw that second buddy at a recent
Where in
wedding.
Cape Cod did you stop?
Sandwich, which is right at the beginning of the Cape. All right, our goal was just to get to the Cape. My sister lived on.
Hey, listen, it's legit. It's over the bridge, Lurch. You got.
Yeah, it is. It's over the bridge. We're on the Cape, right? That was the goal. My sister actually lived in East Harwich on the Cape for quite a while after she got married, and so that was our ultimate destination, was to get to my sister's house. But we said Sandwich is going to be our location. That's going to be and then they can come get us at that point. And I was pretty glad about that. But I remember I was so mentally fatigued and mentally exhausted from it because we never got off those bikes 27 hours straight. It was insane. And like when I got to my sister's house, I didn't want to be near anybody. I was like, I just went in a room by myself. I was like, stay away from me. Let's go out to dinner. No, thank you. I'll just stay here and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I wanted nothing to do with people because I was so stressed. So I can kind of relate to that idea of, you're stressed beyond belief, physically, mentally, just totally fatigued. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice to take a couple of days to yourself,
Yeah, decompress, man. That's a big way to go. All right, look, we're not going to hold you up because you are on location. So, look, thanks for, again, dropping in and giving us some love. Like I said, to me, it was an eventful episode, but I don't know. I wanted more drama. I wanted a little more tension about who was going to be eliminated. I felt like going into Tribal tonight, we knew it was going to be Sophie, and it was Sophie, so there was no big surprise. I thought we might get a surprise this week. We didn't get it, but I still think there are some surprises to come with all these advantages, and certainly that knowledge is power is going to be the big one. Does Sophie B, your girl, use that thing correctly? I think that could determine who wins this game, in my opinion. You agree or disagree?
No, she has to. She has to use that perfectly in order for her to win this game. And I'm praying that she does, and I'm praying it comes next week.
And how should she use it? What would perfectly used be to you?
She needs to take Rizzo's idol. She needs to take – it's the head of the snake. Like Rizzo's in it to win it. He's doing really well. I think if you take, she needs to take his idol and then
vote him out.
That'll be a big move, and I think it'll be good for her.
And vote him out. Take it and then vote him out.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go.
Got to be both. Okay, got to be both. Okay.
Well, hey, for a guy in Rizzo who thinks he knows everything, right? When Steven came back, he says, "Oh, I know what you actually have," and things of that nature. For Sophie to come out now, Sophie, because again, the other Sophie was eliminated, for her to take her name back, for her to drop a knowledge of power that Rizzo has no idea about, and that it is used against him. Oh,
love it.
The moment in front of the jury, the drama, all the
Beautiful.
Street cred she would immediately gain. Oh yeah. Yeah,
and she's doing the one thing, Bret, that we've talked about for years and years and years. All the shows that we've done, all the seasons we've done. All right. And that is, don't tell other people when you have advantages, especially if you find them on your own. Sometimes you're stuck. Someone's right there. They catch you opening it, whatever. But when someone's not there, don't tell a soul. She's playing it very well. I hope it pays off.
I agree. And Rizzo tonight cried. And, I love the kid. I've met him. He's a great guy. But I'm like, oh, my God, he's acting like he's RIZGOD, but he's crying like a baby every 5 minutes. So I can't wait to see him next time. I'm going to bust his chops so bad. But
Love it. Love
That's
it.
awesome.
All right, Brett, get out of there. Go enjoy the rest of your night. All right, have a few more beers on us, and we'll talk to you again next week, buddy.
Great to see you guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, there he is. Bret LaBelle on location. He's all the way down in Baltimore, Maryland at that big party. And he said, I'm going to be on location next week. He didn't even tell us where he's going to be, but we knew he was going to be at some Survivor thing. Man, he gets around that Survivor community, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Well, there's, again, as a Survivor, super fan, the Wendell Bryce parties that they host that include a lot of former Survivor casters like Brett and others, like, they do it up big. It has quite the reputation, and obviously it's a happening party and stuff of that nature. So that's great. That's cool that Brett gets to be a part of it.
Well, if you ever get on, Boy Green, and I know you try and you keep trying, and encourage you to keep trying. We have one guy here who wants to be on the show. We have one guy here who loves to watch the show, and that's me.
Yeah.
But if you ever get on and you become part of that family, you better start dragging me some of those parties, man. I got
100%. Be your wingman.
Some of those parties. I'll wingman it up for you, man. I'll show up to that, man.
That's true.
There's so many of these people that over the history of Survivor that I want to ask things of, like that I want to say, can I just go back? Can we just go back inside? Can I ask you about this thing? But did that really happen? If you're truly a Survivor fan like the two of us are, I mean, there's just things you want to know. And it's fascinating. Like I said, I was back watching that All-Stars this week. And I was just like, wow, I didn't remember so many.
That's one of my favorite seasons, season 8. That's terrific.
How did that group let Rob and Amber get to the end? And that's when there were only 2 at the final tribal.
Correct. And they've flipped back and forth over the years of 2, 3,
him and Amber. And it reminded me also, and we've talked a lot about this as well, Boy Green. And I don't know what they got to do this. I don't think it's on tap for this season, although you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. I hope they do it for season 50. Get the reunion show back and don't do it on the island.
So
the reunion show is so much fun, and you got the crowd and you got the families, and I don't know. To me, that just really is a nice way to wrap it up. Is that going to happen anytime soon?
So we didn't learn. So let me make sure I say this properly. Throughout this season, right? There's been all these voting things. Hey, fans, season 50 for the fans. One of the things they voted on was whether or not they've figured it out on the island like we've been doing in all the 40s,
right then and there,
or that it's a live reunion show. So that was something to be voted on. So that was voted on by the fans. So whatever they decided is what happened, because obviously it has already happened. Although if it's a live reunion show, then the winner of season 50 has no idea who won it, even though the season has already been recorded in the books. But here's what, again, I would suggest. I'm not the first person to say this, but we're all Survivor fans. I would say this to Jeff and the team. Do both. If you really want to do this raw after thing where you get to talk to them and sort of talk about the season, you don't have to reveal the winner, but just do everything except the winner part. Talk about the season and things of that nature.
Right.
And then if you want to do the reunion, which by the way, I love the reunion. I think there's something special to everyone dressing up. And I saw what they look like, cold and on an island for 26 days or 39 days. And then for them all to have the opportunity to rewatch the season, get all the context, get all the information we have. And then again, how do they change? Right. And have a talk about it, to have all that information. I think it's super beneficial. We're all Survivor fans. If they put out another thing, we'll just watch that too. So don't they want clicks and downloads and everything else
totally
that
exists?
Makes sense.
Right.
Exclusive to Paramount Plus, and then they get another show that we'd all be doing podcast over and talking about, which I imagine would be great for them. So yes, that is one of the things we voted on. So we won't know that till season 50 gets here.
All right. Well, I got to believe, though, if that was a voted on thing, fans are going to vote for the reunion.
I hope so.
Come on. We all miss the reunion shows. It's just, to me, that adds another layer, and it also gives you an opportunity to do a big event and bring Survivor people together. You get Survivor legends sitting in the crowd. Like I said, you get the families there.
Right.
I don't know. And I kind of like it too. It's that weird thing of now they're off the island, they're all cleaned up, they're clean shaven, they're dressed up, and you're like,
that too.
That's what she looks like. Wow, that's what he looks like. That's incredible,
Right.
So people even look a little different. It's kind of cool.
They definitely do. And I would also say, because it was voted on by the fans and people that don't have to put their name behind the vote, they could be ultimate contrarians. They're like, you know what? We've seen this Survivor immediate show to find out who the winner is for the last 10 years. It's not 10 years, it's 5 years because of 2 seasons a year, but like, let's switch it back. Let's go back to this. And again, there's all these different things that they voted on for tribe names and rice or no rice and all this other stuff that they're going to go back to. So I hope the fans, and I voted several times throughout the process this season, I hope that several of the fans made those choices so we can see things differently for 50. That would be pretty cool to me.
Yeah, that would be cool. So I hope we get, I hope, and I think we will get that back. I know part of that too was the pandemic, and
Of course.
and that kind of spurred it and started it. But it's just like a lot of restaurants out there. Like, it still drives me crazy. Before the pandemic, restaurants were open late. Everything was open late. And now, since the pandemic and everybody's downstaffed and downsized, now nothing's open. I'm like,
That's true.
sometimes it's like 8:30 at night. I'm like, where am I going to get a bite to eat besides a fast food joint? It's like, there's nobody's open anymore. It's so crazy. The world has kind of turned itself back, and we really haven't fully amplified back to what we were pre-pandemic. It's kind of crazy. And
I'll give
included in that.
I know it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback and Survivor, criticize this. Come on, Survivor, why don't you do this?
Right.
But to give the defense of Survivor, season 40 was Winners at War, and man, that was a friggin' awesome season. I love Winners at War.
Great season. Yep.
And they were scheduled to do a beautiful live reunion show like they had done a million Survivors before. But that's when the pandemic started. So by the time that they came back to do it, they had to do it over Zoom. So they did a live reunion show, but Zoom. And that was a horrific product. I feel bad for Tony and his family because he wins for a second time, and he finds out over Zoom, and and it's like delayed, and then he like finds out, and then he's like clapping, and it's awkward.
It's like bad NFL draft stuff,
100%. And it's like, again, just as we were doing Bret, right? Technology, right? He has his phone. Wait, what was that, guys? Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, I won Survivor? Oh gosh, I won.
Yeah,
so it just doesn't have that same effect. The immediate hugging of family members, and again, the rawness that's sort of there and that they don't know. So again, I give credit to Survivor. The season 40 deserves so much better than that. I get it. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but that was such a horrific result. They're like, we can't do that again. Right. So I understand why they made that decision, but you can always change. You can always adapt with new information, and hopefully 50 sort of kicks something off, because I heard Rob Cesarnino say this, that the most important season of Survivor is coming up, Lurch. It's 51. 50 is a celebration. It's sort of, relatively speaking, for Survivor fans, it's easy. You're putting out a bunch of legends. We should eat that show up, and that should be awesome. But 51, what are you going to do? 41 set the new era, and we got all this new stuff. What's 51? What are the days? Are we going back to themes? Like, what's happening here? I heard Rob talk about that, and I agree with the importance of setting the tone for the franchise's next 5 to 10 years of what is this going to be. It's a really great question, and I'm curious to see what that plan is for 51. Obviously, that season has not been decided yet. That's the season I applied for, so hopefully I get on 51. That'd be great.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, this is the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. And hey, any Yankee fans out there, right now, if you become a subscriber to our channel, you can win this free Bobby Mercer autographed baseball. It's out of my personal collection. We do a lot of sports content, but obviously, those of you that are in the room know we do Survivor. We're doing a Survivor postgame this entire season, and we'll be back again for season 50. Bret LaBelle is our kind of our guy. Bret has worked with us over the last 8-9 years when we were doing our radio show, and now we have him here in the digital world, and sometimes he's on location like he was tonight. There's been a couple of times where he's been at some cool reunion parties. People are popping in and out. We were getting some impromptu guests, and perhaps we'll panel it up at some point and get a few of Bret's buddies, and we'll do get to several people from the island essentially giving their opinions about how this season is breaking down. We'll see if we can arrange that in the next couple of weeks, but feel free to subscribe. You see it right there, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. And we do create a playlist for all of our Survivor content. So if you're not into sports, which is something that we are into outside of our Survivor stuff, you can just go into our Survivor playlist. We've got some interviews about season 50 from some former survivors. Tiffany Seeley is in there. David Wright, we've talked to him, and we're going to continue in between seasons here. We will definitely ramp that up and get some other former Survivor players, some Survivor legends doing interviews with us and give their take before season 50 even happens about the cast, who they think's going to win, what kind of wrinkles should they put in season 50, what was great about their season. So all that is coming your way. So again, if you subscribe to our channel, you'll know when that's coming out. And hey, you can win some free stuff, as they say. So that's pretty cool.
Right now, at this moment in time, we are 14 subscribers away. Let me just put this into perspective.
Yeah, the Mercer Ball's going out in 14 more subscribers. That's correct.
We have 415 people in the room. We have 386 subscribers. So literally there are people watching, at least 30 or so, that are watching right now that are not subscribed to the channel. So right now, literally right now, for the people that are watching, and we're streaming live on the MC Show Digital YouTube channel, my Twitter account. If you guys right now listen to the words that are coming out of our mouth, if you subscribe to that channel that's below, that's youtube.com/MC Show Digital, and hit that subscribe button, which is free to do, we could give that away right now. That could happen if you just jumped in and did that right now. So, folks, feel free to jump on over. It's free. Nothing in this world is free. If you live local, we'll hand it to you in person. If you don't, we'll ship it to you. So, folks, stop what you're doing right now. Go to YouTube. If you're on your phone, it's easy to open up a new tab real quick. If you're on your computer, it's easy to open up a new tab. If you're on your tablet, you can do it as well. YouTube.com/MC Show Digital. I'd love to get that sooner rather than later, Lurch. Again, we're only 14 subscribers away, which is crazy, and we're going to keep doing free giveaways, certainly moving forward. So I hope people jump on that train right now.
And listen, folks, we're nothing without you. When you're in this digital space like we are in YouTube and our social media portals that we put this out to, we're nothing without you. And we come from a 30-year radio background, so we had lots of listeners and had a whole gang of people that were listening to us on a daily basis in the radio world. But we've only been in this YouTube digital world for about 4 months as an entity. So that's why we're not the big-time subscribers yet. So we're trying to build back up our community, essentially starting from zero and getting up to right now 380 something people. So again, if you subscribe, you can join our community. We're going to do a lot of cool things, a lot of giveaways. So if you like sports memorabilia, if you like sports stuff, and I think we'll probably reach out to Bret and see if we can include some Survivor stuff in this. So, we'll get some autographed Survivor stuff and some cool things, and we'll include that in our platform as well, because I think we're going to continue to do Survivor content for many, many years to come. It's something that was actually a staple of ours, even when we were doing sports content on the radio. And now, obviously, we've pushed it over to this digital world and have decided that we're going to do a post-show show after every Survivor episode. And it's a lot of fun to break it down, hot off the iron, so to speak. All right, so let's get a couple of things ourselves on this episode, BG, and what you thought of it all. All right, Steven was the target, clearly, at the beginning of this episode. I don't know why they're desperate to get Steven out. I don't think he's a huge threat, but he is on my draft board, so I don't want him to go too soon. He has been pretty solid in challenges, and obviously going on that journey and winning this thing is putting a giant target, an even bigger target on his back. He's going to be targeted again in the next couple episodes, I'm sure. But what is your take on how this should break out? And who should make a move here that could change everything? Give me your thoughts on that.
Again, now that we've made it through and Rizzo still has his title, obviously Steven has his block vote that no one knows about. Sophie, who again, I got to keep reminding people until we get to the next episode, I guess. And there's literally only one Sophie on the island, so it's just her now. But it is Sophie or Soph, whichever you prefer. She has her knowledge is power. With how it's set up, Steven and Christina are obviously a pair. You have Savannah and Rizzo, who are obviously a pair. And then you have Sophie B, who's sort of floating on her own a little bit in the middle of all this. And then you have Sage. If Steven uses his block a vote, and they have 6 total votes, and now it goes down to 5, and they have 2, all they need to do is either convince one of Sage or Sophie to come over with them, and then they could take out Rizzo, they could take out Savannah, and they could just control the rest of the game. So there was a tease, next time on Survivor, Steven says he has this plan to use his block of vote to maximize its potential. And again, he was right. He explained this in this episode tonight. Every next phase of the game you get to, your block of vote becomes even more powerful as the numbers dwindle. And so I think he's got a great opportunity here. If he really waits to 5, then he really has full control. But in this 6, where they're about to get it from 6 to 5, I think he has the power to absolutely shift the game. The only thing that could throw a monkey wrench into that is if Rizzo or Savannah win the immunity idol and they have his immunity idol or tribal necklace and immunity idol, they could both protect themselves going in, and then Steven would have no other choice, and they'd have to cannibalize and eat themselves. But outside of that possibility, he can make some moves.
Yeah, he could definitely make sense. All right. Of the people that are left, there's six left now, right?
There is
People
6.
left.
Yep.
Who do you think can win the game out of the 6? And narrow
Okay.
it down a little bit.
Okay.
Who can't
Okay.
win? Who can win? And tell us why.
Okay. With all due respect, I think that's an important thing to say right off the bat.
Okay.
Christina absolutely has 0 shot at winning this
I
game.
like her a lot, but I agree with you. I don't think she can win the game.
I actually don't like her at all. I think
You
she's
don't?
super annoying.
wow,
I think
really?
I think her mom gesture for Juwan earlier in the game was totally fake, and I think was just getting brownie points. I thought her lame porcery copy of barely scraping over the board and the walkway was nothing. Like, again, I empathize with losing her mother, and that's being such an important part of her life, but the rest of it I think is all sort of pass the biscuit. So
All right.
Christina,
Not a fan of Christina. Okay.
not at all. So I think Christina has absolutely no shot. I think Rizzo clearly has a shot. He's a great talker. He's a showman, and I think in Prisoner of the Moment, where like people are about to vote, they're going to hear whatever he has to say and then vote if he makes it to Final Tribal. I think he can be very influential, and it's been proven how persuasive he is.
Yeah.
He has been in position, and this is how you know like great Survivor play, when you don't have the numbers and you get the person you want out, and you just say the right things to the right people. Go, you know what? That Rizzo guy's onto something, and you're able to control the vote even when you don't have the control is crazy. So
yeah, and it's that other thing too. If I can just jump in for a second, that other thing too of having just watched that Survivor All Stars, that was known as one of the meanest survivors, supposedly.
Very much so.
All right, because Boston Rob betrayed Big Tom, and there was some really like I give you my word, it's strong as oak, and then but I'm voting your butt out. So it got very, very catty. At the end of that, you would love some more of that. I know you.
Of course, absolutely.
You're like, bring me back 10 Russell Hanses.
100%.
Let's get this thing going. But but one of the things when I look back at that season that I just rewatched is the fact that Rob ticked off so many people on that jury that Amber wins 4-3 in the final vote just simply because people couldn't stomach voting for Rob, even though clearly he was the best player in that game and deserved to win that season. Now, as it turned out, they got engaged on the big reunion show.
And he would win later.
Anyway. And now they have a family and they're married, so good for them. True romance on Survivor. But the jury, as you look at who's over there, Alex is over there. The movie producer guy, I'm forgetting his Nate is over there. There's some interesting people sitting over there. And has anybody burned a bridge with any of this? Like, I'm starting to look at that now. Like, how is that jury shaping up for the people that could potentially be sitting in the final 3?
Well, there's 2 ways to look at Rizzo, right? I think he's polarizing. He's a love-or-hate guy. I don't think you meet Rizzo and you're like, man, he's sort of adequate. I really don't have a take on him. Right. I think everyone has a take on Rizzo. And again, there's going to be that respect of like Rizzo's been talking this talk and he's made it all the way here. And you're like, wow, like that is, and again, having the term is hidden immunity idol, but it couldn't be any less hidden with how he's been able to say it. But he just keeps surviving. It's like the Yule idol. If we go way back to Yule's season, where in that case, that was Survivor made sure they never did this again, but that you could play the idol after the votes are read. So it was like the super protection. Like, do we waste it knowing that he can immediately wipe it away? And he was able to carry that all the way to the end. And Yule was a great player anyway, so that worked. But it's fascinating that Rizzo has this very public idol. No one's going after him. No one's thinking about him. And even when they were thinking about him, he switched the vote to somebody else. So I think, again, there's sort of that love-hate. And again, so some people could just hate his guts. And maybe to your point, right? Boston Robs, Russell Hanses. There's been a lot of, and for various reasons, there's been a lot of different examples where a bitter jury just goes, no, Rizzo's an asshole. I'm not going to give this young kid $1 million. I don't give a shit what game he played. I could totally see that being a perception. So that's possible. But I think, like I said, Christina, totally out. I think Sophie, Bret's choice, again, Soph.
Very much in the mix.
Bret, I think she's totally in it. Again, it all depends. You said it. How she uses this knowledge is power. If she uses it correctly, I think she can leapfrog Savannah, who I think also has a great shot of winning. She's very charismatic. She also has a love-hate thing, so some people on the jury are just going to hate her guts. Like, if and when Christina eventually hits the jury, I don't anticipate her voting for Savannah. So, I just don't think that's going to happen. So I think she's totally in the running. Sage, again, with who the jury is, maybe they hate everyone else and they just vote for her. I'm not trying to denigrate Sage's game or anything, but it'll be interesting to see how people perform in moments. Is Sage going to be
she'd
this?
get Joanne's vote, but I don't know who beyond Joanne she gets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Sage going to be all of a sudden an eloquent speaker? I don't perceive her that way, but does she perform really well at Tribal? We're like, whoa. So Sage was giving this act this whole time, but really she's super eloquently spoken and all these other things. Like maybe, I think your guy Steven, again, I think he needs a big move. So if he uses his blocker vote very well, the jury loves sexy moves. They love flashy moves. They love those kind of things. So, and Steven's been operating from the bottom. Everyone loves an underdog story. That's what America's built on. So he's sort of been operating from the bottom this entire time and squeaking his way out in different respects. So I think he certainly has a chance. Yeah, and that's everyone. I think everyone has a chance besides Christina, to be honest with you. 5 of the 6 are all
5 of the 6 you could see potentially.
But Christina, there is 0 chance. But hey, you know what, Christina, if you're watching this right now, I thought Gabler had 0 chance, and somehow he won.
Look at him. He won it, right.
You know what? What the hell do I know? I'm just some random guy.
I would probably add Sage to my list of
no-go.
Probably not being able to win unless something dramatically changes here down the stretch. And I think Steven is a long shot, although I agree with your point that, if he could pull the right move and get the whole underdog thing behind him, he's a very likable guy in general.
Yeah.
But he's playing a little from the outside in, and that's never easy, to get to the end and win that way. You just, it's that old, is the jury going to respect you? So he needs a couple of moves. This journey was very good for him. But I don't know. I'm worried that Sophie B is going to play that the wrong way, and she's going to go against Steven, steal his advantage, aka because they think it's a steal vote, it's really a block vote, and then that might give a path to other people. I think she could misplay that thing, and that could be the determining factor as to what kind of respect the jury ultimately gives her. We'll see.
Yeah, I could totally see that coming out too. And I think that another thing juries hate, now it's hard to generalize because every jury is different. They don't like when you're not in the know. And Steven openly has been not in the know he was for this one, but the 2 previous tribal councils, he was not in the know. He was on the wrong side of the vote, which means you don't have a temperature of the game. Now, people sometimes cannot have a temperature of the game for certain tribals and overcome it. Rachel Lamont, who won a couple years ago, she very badly in the middle of the game post-jury, post-merge, she badly misread one of the tribals, and thankfully it didn't cost her because Soul, for a shout out to Soul, he was on my fantasy Survivor team a couple years ago, he saved her with that tribal that he didn't go to, and he willed her the advantage, which ended up saving her butt, and she ends up winning a season. So it came back full circle. But yeah, juries normally don't respect when you don't have the temperature of the game and you're wildly not in the know. They normally don't respect that. So that's happened now twice for Steven in recent crucial tribals. So they could penalize him for that.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Well, we each have one alive, but
hey, okay, that works.
I don't know. It's quite possible that none of us will have the winner. Which, by the way, we have done this for like 16 seasons of Survivor over the course of 8-ish years, and we have never not had the winner among the 9 picks that we've made. We have never not chosen the winner. So if that happens, this year would be a first. This season would be a first, where me, you, and Bret did not properly get in 3 picks each who the winner was going to be. So these are the ones we have left. You can see it right on our board. Bret has Sophie B. The Manchild, that's me. I have Steve. And Boy Green has Rizzo.
Which means the 3 that we have not selected, so we can end on this list. The 3 we don't have selected are obviously Sage, Christina, and Savannah. Those are the 3 we don't have left. Who are you most worried about? Because to your point, we've always picked the winner. So if you had to look up the group of who are you worried about could win, and then we all look like idiots for passing on them, is who?
Savannah would be the only one I'd be even vaguely concerned about. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. The other, again, Christina, I think, has no chance. Sage, I think it depends on the who is she competing against? Who are the other 2? What's the circumstances? What else does she do in these final 2 episodes? I don't know. But yeah, Savannah's the one that I'm like, damn, yeah. I could have blown that one.
I honestly think at this point, still a little early, but I honestly think at this point, it's Sophie's game to lose. That's what I think.
Fascinating.
Because of what sits in her hand, and because of how fairly well liked she is here. She still needs to make that big move because she needs to do something to get the jury's attention. Rizzo has already made several big moves, so he's earned some respect. But if she gets him, if she, pulls the rug out from the guy that's been pulling out the rug from everyone else, she's going to get the ultimate respect. And I think that flips the game in her favor. If she plays that thing wrong, we've been talking about it all night, I think it could go the other way, and maybe Rizzo ends up winning this thing. Or Savannah, one of those two.
If there were Vegas odds on it, I wouldn't call Sophie be the favorite, but I see the path. I'm like, if she does this,
right.
oh yeah, she could totally win. And again, she's a great talker. I mean, just unbelievable. She's a really good social player. Obviously, she doesn't seem to piss anyone off. That part normally helps out a lot too. And she's a great storyteller at these tribal councils. So. If she had an opportunity to give the final tribal speech that I'm sure everyone's thinking about all season long, she could make a very compelling case.
Yeah. I think Savannah might, be able to irk a couple more immunity challenges potentially. I think she's very good in immunity challenges.
Yeah, she is too. Just like
her and Steven as the primaries battling here, unless one of them gets, kicked off, which could happen sooner rather than later, because other people obviously are worried about that as well. All right, so we'll put a wrap here on episode 11 of season 9. We have 2 more episodes this season. That's it, folks. One again next week, typical episode, and then we've got the finale, which is December 17th, right? If I'm
correct, that is correct. Yes.
And so that one will go late. So we'll have the late show.
I'm trying to think of what time that'll be. 11:15ish or something.
A late show for us, but we'll be there after the finale. And after whatever reunion-ish stuff they do, we will be there, and we will talk all about the entire season. Who did you love? Who did you hate? And by then, will we know? I would like to think that in that finale that they'll tell us who the 2 players are that are going into season 50.
Oh, that's a good point. I have no idea. Would they reveal? Well, they wouldn't know that then. So no, because we're not getting a live tribal council. That's the tribal. Like, they wouldn't have known that information yet, so they couldn't possibly tell it on the island unless Jeff just comes on the screen and he pre-records something that happened like a week or 2 ago or whatever it was and says, hey, these 2 players that were just on are going on the island. So unless he announces that, then we still won't know.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. But it is what it is, as they say. But it'll be fascinating. 50 is going to be hopefully gangbusters. That's going to be
February 25th.
February 25th. So we'll get a little bit of time off. But like I said, in the interim, folks, we'll be doing some interviews with some of our Survivor insiders and get some insight into season 50, what they're hoping for, who are their favorites, who are they out there rooting for, so on and so forth. So we'll do some of that during the off season. So there'll still be Survivor content coming in on a regular basis here on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. And one last chance, you want to throw it back up there one more time. We get another like 10-ish people subscribe to our channel tonight. This Bobby Mercer baseball is going out to one of our new subscribers, so you can get in the club. It's absolutely free. Just click subscribe, and you see the link right there, youtube.com/MC Show Digital, and just hit subscribe, and you're in the lottery for the Bobby Mercer baseball. So very, very cool little item. So if you're a Yankee fan, walk yourself out the door with a nice little prize just for becoming a subscriber. We appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for watching tonight. Thank our buddy, of course, Bret LaBelle, for joining us on location. And we will be back at it again next Wednesday night, basically same bat time, same bat channel. Folks, have a great night. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.